And we are off in the men's youth single for the 2024 Youth National Championships. Today, someone will be crowned as the top single sculler for the 2023-24 year.
And it will be a fast one and a quick one. You can see all of these athletes really trying to get out of Dodge as quick as they can. They know it's a really, really tight field. They know the competition is deep. We were talking about how we're both scullers, what we're thinking about at the start. I could see Gordon Gruber over in lane 7, nearest to shore, making a little adjustment right before the lights changed from red to green. But right now we look like we have a really good lead from Ian O'Riley from Brophy in lane 1, but then also Donovan Moses, V-Sculls in lane 6.
Yeah, and the races are seeded from lane 0 to lane 7, so it's great to see some early movement out of V-Sculls, Donovan Moses. Right off of his left, we have Gordon Gruber trying to maintain contact with him, and if he can do that, he'll be able to come along. But it looks like right now the fight to get into that first place position is with Henry Davison from Unaff Rowing Academy and Ian O'Riley from Brophy.
And those two is actually a matchup from last year's A final in this men youth single. Ian O'Riley placed 3rd in this event, and Henry Davison placed 4th, just missing out on a medal finish, a top 3 finish in this event. But they haven't seen each other side by side yet in this regatta. It does look as we're crossing that 500-meter mark that it is Brophy in that first place position, then Unaff Academy, then gosh, I would say maybe Williamsburg and V-Sculls, then CRI Wakefield, Miami, and unaffiliated Gordon Gruber. But that's what happens in a rematch. So these athletes, all athletes have gone through a time trial. They have seen each other in different semifinals, but not all together. When I'm looking at the previous semifinal results, at least by time, Ian O'Riley was a second faster than Henry Davison. So he's trying to just hold on to that and seeing what he can post, see if he can kind of reclaim a top spot here.
Yeah, and there you can see a little look over from Donovan Moses from V-Sculls. Right now, the middle of the pack, Williamsburg, William Fuller, CRI's, Simeon John, Wakefield's, Tony Madigan, and Miami Rowing Club's Antionio Sevillano. They're trying to stay in touch with that top pack as they start to move out a little bit. On the sides, on the wings of this race, you can see Henry Davison start to move out a little bit, along with Brophy's Ian O'Riley, and V-Sculls, Donovan Moses has started to fall back a bit. He was really running with that top pack, and we can see now it looks as though William Fuller is trying to go along with that lead pack that's starting to form of Ian Brophy and Ian O'Riley.
Yeah, it's really a fantastic thing to see. We don't have coxswains here, right? So it's all what's happening, what's the chatter between the ears, and what kind of resilience and self-talk are you giving yourself at this point when you're in a really tough situation. All athletes have something to overcome, but also something to their advantage based on their position. Ian O'Riley, current leader in this, is able to just see and respond to maybe any potential moves put on by Henry Davison of Unaff Rowing Academy. But I think Henry knows he's in the top seeded lane.
Yeah.
He knows that he's got maybe a little bit more in the tank. He did very well over the course of the season. Won, I believe, was it Head of the Charles last year. So is a very accomplished sculler in that regard. So knows to be patient, knows to trust the training, and see what he can do.
Yeah, and so it looks like Ian Brophy's starting to turn the screws a little bit. You know, there's less than a second between him and Henry Davison. But we know that Henry Davison is a self-starter. Reached out to the State Department to learn Russian because he was bored during COVID. So we know we have a young man that can handle hard situations and basically take the initiative to move. But right now, I'm really liking this view here. I'm really liking the work that Ian O'Riley is doing. He's nice and long. He's getting out there. He's getting those oars in, really accelerating that boat through the water. Look at those puddles, the distance that he's putting on them with each stroke, just trying to be really efficient.
Absolutely. And I recall from last year, just in our notes, he was talking about all the levels of mastery he was trying to accomplish through the sport of rowing, and just getting more proficient, more strokes under his belt. He was also in the process of earning his pilot's license, but he has now accomplished it, and it looks like he's really taking off here in the lead of this men's youth single.
Yeah, Ian O'Riley has really started to turn the screws right now. That shot that we had of him, it was so nice. You could see nice long strokes. Really, if you're home, if you're looking at what's going on, you can take a look at the puddles. He's trying to move his boat, and what he's doing on the recovery is really just letting the boat glide through the water, being really efficient each stroke. And then we're coming into the extra tough last 500. These athletes have to act now. This is for the championships. This is for the hardware. Can anything change in the way this race is shaped up? We had William Fuller in that third place. Is there anyone that's going to put some pressure on him? And we can see if there's any. And it does look, in fact, like there is some pressure being put on first place, and in that there's a first and second place race, and there's a third and fourth place race going on. Can Simeon John from CRI put any pressure on William Fuller in this last 500? Can Henry Davison find it to move on Ian O'Riley? What's going to happen next? I don't know, but it's surely going to be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, look at that move from that CRI crew, that red shell. Simeon John, he won Head of the Fish recently in this past fall, and he really stepped up to the challenge here in this A final of the men's youth single. Avid chess player and polar plunge enthusiast, and he's really taking a dive here, seeing if he can edge out William Fuller for a third place position, see if he can claim a spot here in the youth men's single. If you're on shore, head down. We have one heck of a race going down the course. We're looking at Ian O'Riley of Brophy going in a charge towards the finish line. We see Henry Davison of Oak Neck Academy trying to catch up. He's got some strokes. He's taken up the rate. Hearing his name, he knows that he is in striking distance. Also then looking at CRI taking a charge here, all the way down to the line. He may just claim that third place position. Then Tony Madigan of Wakefield in a duel with Miami V-Sculls and Gordon Gruber. But coming across the line now is Ian O'Riley of Brophy. Then next we have Henry Davison of Oak Neck Rowing Academy. Now we have CRI coming towards the line, trying to fend off the fight, the charge from Miami Rowing Club and Wakefield. But it will be Miami with just a little bit over Wakefield. Near on shore, Don and Moses of V-Sculls and Gordon Gruber taking it across the line. Our field here of the men's youth singles. There you have it, folks. We've got Ian O'Riley, new national champion here at the men's youth single 2024 youth national champion.
What a race. You can see him putting his feet out, taking